Hey YouTube, this is Richard, founder of ShortTermRentalSecrets.com. Today, in 10 easy steps, I'm going to walk you through what you need to do to get started with your apartment on Airbnb. So the first thing to consider is, what exactly is it that you're renting? Are you renting your entire apartment when, say, you're out of town? Or do you have an extra apartment altogether that you want to do this as a side business? Or is it a private room in your apartment? Maybe you have a spare second bedroom or third bedroom and you want to rent the room privately. And then the third option that some people do is what's considered a shared space. Maybe you're going to put a sleeper sofa in your living room and that's what you're renting. The second thing you want to do is literally do some research. Understand the market. Take a look on Airbnb for your exact unit. Pretend you were searching for your unit. Type in the size and the location and the neighborhood and whatever amenities you require. Try and find your unit. Get the closest one you possibly can and look for people that have a lot of reviews and preferably 5-star reviews. They're going to guide you. That's sort of the vision, and that'll tell you what you can command over time. Again, as we've said in other videos, you're going to start lower to build your presence and your reputation, but at least have an idea of where you can go. So the third thing you want to do, now that you know that there's demand for your size unit in your neighborhood and how much money you might actually make doing this, you want to go ahead and be really critical as you walk through your apartment and say, what could make a guest experience better and what do I need to do to secure my private belongings that they don't get damaged? So the way that you should do that is think about a guest comfort. They want their own linens, they want their own towels, they should be comfortable. Spend what you can to make it as luxurious and as much of a hotel-like stay as possible. And then also take a look at what's missing. Do I need a sleeper sofa? Do I need a coffee maker? Do I need, whether you use them or not, it's about the guest. So think about what the guest requires and then think about what you require for privacy. I might want to put a deadlock or a deadbolt on this closet, and that's where I'm securing whatever's important, whether it's your golf clubs or whatever's important to you that you don't want a guest to play with. The fourth thing you need to do is to make sure that everything works in your home. We all have things in our home that don't really work, or we know the workaround, like I don't have the closet light working, or the door doesn't quite close right. It doesn't really bother me. Realize as a host, it's not about you. It's about your guest. So you don't know how they're going to use your home. You don't know why they might use that closet light. But instead of just assuming that it's no big deal, assume it is in fact a big deal and take the proactive measure to just get it fixed, because that will lead to more 5-star reviews, which is your goal, versus the home isn't well maintained, none of the lights worked, etc. That shows up in your review, that's going to hurt your business. So be really, really critical, go through step by step, make sure every single thing that's in your home works as it was designed and intended. The fifth thing that's critically important, and I can't stress this enough, in fact, I'm sitting here underlining it, take high quality professional photos. Airbnb has a great service, it's free, so take advantage of it. They will send a professional photographer to your home to photograph your home. Not only are the photos fantastic, but there's a second benefit. They also put a stamp or a seal on each photo that says this is Airbnb certified. And what that means to your guests is this is legitimate. Airbnb saw it with their own eyes. In fact, they took the photo, so I can believe it. If for whatever reason Airbnb can't send a professional photographer to your home, either you're too rural or it's taking too long, go ahead and click on the link in the bio. We're going to put out a video on how to take professional quality photos for your Airbnb listing, because the quality of the photography is probably the single most important thing about you getting listings, in addition to the quality of the reviews. So please take your time and do this right. It's really important. So a sixth thing for you to consider is, and this I think deters a lot of people, but it really shouldn't, it's easy to overcome, is the key exchange. How are you going to get your guests into your apartment? Now, a lot of people will want to meet their guests in person, and that's fine. It doesn't particularly work for me because I know firsthand that guests come and go at all hours of the night and on weekends, and I take vacation, and so I'm not always there to meet my guests. But if you are, and that's your solution, great. If you're not always there, or you don't always want to be there, then there's other things you should consider, like a lockbox. Is there a place that you can put a secured lockbox with a code so that your guests can go and unlock it and have access to your apartment? If not, there's a couple of other things to consider using services such as Key Cafe, and we have an upcoming video, so again, go ahead and subscribe, that talks about Key Cafe and how that works. Another option is to use a full service company like Guesty, and again, there's going to be a video on that, but that will actually meet your guests and let them in. If your apartment allows, or you don't have a common key as well, there's even technology that we're going to talk about that'll allow doors to open as a smartphone gets close or you use a code, but it'll automatically unlock the door. So there's a variety of things. Figure out what works best for you, and the key thing is that it's reliable and consistent. Nobody wants a lockout or an emergency on 4th of July weekend on a Saturday night. So figure out what works for you, make sure that you implement it properly, and then you communicate those directions and instructions to your guests so that they can come quickly and easily. Tip number 7 is to log into Airbnb, create your account, and actually go through, fill in all the blanks, and put your listing on the Airbnb site. They do a really great job of onboarding, and it's really straightforward. They give you all the fields that you need to fill in. I would encourage you to be as thoughtful and descriptive as possible. Again, we've created videos on suggestions on how to do that. In short, you want to sell the dream, not the features. So tell people how they're going to use it. Tell people why being in your neighborhood is great, not just describe it. Don't assume they know anything. Sell the dream and people will book. You want to take your time and make sure that you fill in as much information in all the blanks, because people are looking at this from all over the world. They don't know what's in your head, so assume nothing. Be really descriptive about your house rules. I would rather deter a bad guest than host a bad guest. So if you don't want parties, you don't want events, you don't want people below a certain age, or whatever is your house rule, no smoking, no parties, whatever it is, put it in there. You would rather not have the booking than have the booking and have a problem. And the final thing you're going to need to do once your guest departs is figure out the key exchange in reverse. Where are they leaving the key? How is the place being secured? How are you getting your key back? And you want to make sure that they don't take the key. That's actually happened to me in a few instances. They've had such a good time and they're running late for the airport, and they lock the door and then they put the key in their pocket. So make sure that you communicate in advance exactly what your expectations are and what your process is to get your key back. So congratulations, your first guest came and left, and they left you wonderful reviews. You've got your key back, and now the question is, what's next? Simple. More of the same. Do exactly what you just did, only do it better, more consistently, more reliably, with more hospitality. If you keep doing that, you're going to grow your business. The other thing you can do is subscribe to our channel, because we're putting out value-added content like this all the time for free to help you improve your hosting skills, your hospitality skills, and to grow your business. So go ahead and subscribe. I really appreciate your interest. Please share this with anybody that you think might be interested in growing their business. And in the meantime, happy hosting.